How's it going? It's March 6th, 2024 at 9:55 a.m. Now, I noticed something on the video that I posted about this image on my face, or these images, I should say. And I just seen another image of this guy right here. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in. Do you see this guy's face right here? Very interesting. Uh, this is interesting too, right up here. It looks like a hat or something. Let me turn it this way. You can see. But this person that's down here, how do I get this? There's a person down here that I've been showing, but maybe this is not a very good slide. Yeah, there they are right there. But there's a better image, and I'll try to show you that. But I just noticed that one. So let me shrink this one, because this is one I put up yesterday because I took a side view. Now, you can see that hat-looking thing right here from another, coming from this direction. You can see it looks like a hat. But this is interesting because look at the roundness of this face. It kind of almost looks like a face of a clock or a cat. I'm not sure what that face is. But this face, this is what I wanted to show you. Do you see this face right here? If I turn it this way, you can see this face. Now, the interesting thing about this is yesterday I was looking at something here about the Arcturians, the 3 through 4th portal energies of today and tomorrow, the Arcturians. This was yesterday, it was put out.
On another note, the entanglement of perceived control on your planet seeks to ensnare you within an artificial labyrinth, distracting the soul of its creative sovereignty and binding it to a shadowy facsimile of reality. In other words, there is nothing wrong with using artificial intelligence, but be mindful about using it only to speed up simple tasks. Keep your love and creativity flowing.
So it's all about love, which that's what Jesus talks about too. Stay in love, be childlike, that kind of thing. Don't get trapped in the world or anything about that. So going back here, I think before anybody bashes me, it just looks like Jesus, and I'm going to show you here in a second. I never looked from this perspective. Oh, that's interesting. Kind of looks like a dog's face or something in the way. I wonder if I'll see something different. There's that one guy. He's still there. Oh, interesting. Looks like a guy right here and a dog. Kind of looks like Doc from Back to the Future. Look at his white hair. Okay, so we're going to turn it again. Let's see what we got here. Look at all these images. See, this is what I was noticing that come out of my face. Now I'm going to show you what I seen yesterday coming out of my face. Now see, this is that person I was telling you about, with that face right there. Now, when you look right here, this right here looks like Jesus's face. Do you see? So here's the Arcturian face right here. And then you've got what looks like Jesus's face right here. It's so interesting. And then that's where I seen this, like, what looked like a little child, but it looks like a bird. But I got to looking at this closer, and I'm just like, that so looks like Jesus's face. Let me hold it up to there like that. Show you. Doesn't that look like Jesus's face? So interesting. And it looks like there's something right there as well. But that's what I wanted to show you real quickly. And then the message that was online yesterday that come through my feed. And I was thinking, I wonder if this person is an Arcturian and this is Jesus. But that's what I'm, looking at. Oh, interesting. This person looks like their head is leaning up against Jesus's cheek. If that is Jesus. I think it is. But then there's so many images laid over the top of each other. Like, if you look at this image right here in the dark, the darker image right there, that looks interesting. It looks like a woman. It does. It's like her two eyes. It looks like she's wearing a black veil over her face. Like they do in Islam or something. That is a tripos. But I just wanted to mention that. And we'll turn it this way. And then see this face. That guy also looks like, oh, do you guys remember Golden Gate Bridge? The guy who played that snowman, the snowman, snowman and Rudolph. Snowman and Rudolph. Burl Ives. Okay. No. Look at that. Isn't that a trip? I thought that face looks interestingly familiar. It's such a trip. There's something else playing there too. But when I looked at that, I'm like, that looks familiar. And it just dawned on me today. That looks like this guy. Isn't that a trip? Anyway, and then we've got, where's it at here? So that's by GFL Station. Let's see here. What was it? Steve. So what's being played out right now is that there's a couple of channels that are focused on the planetary alignment on March 11th. And then they're Purim, 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 and it's a lunar, and that's going to be like March 23rd, I think, 23rd, 24th, and that's a lunar eclipse or something like that, or a lunar moon or something to that effect. But it has to do with Esther in the Bible. Very interesting, right? But I just wanted to show that real quick and show you the symbolism of what I think that this is a Arcturian. That's
Mark Zuckerberg just built a $100 million bunker in Hawaii, but he's only one of the 50.
Who cares? It's just the way the face is right here. And you see this like oval shape right there? That's what I was looking at that's on my face. Is like that oval shape that goes around. Right, like that. That's so interesting. I don't know. And I do believe Arcturius is like, if we look at our body, is straight up by Boots constellation. Oh, that's interesting. When the apple rolls and hits Obama's boot, when it hits his boot, that is so interesting, because I think this represents the Boots constellation. Actually, look at the silver tone on that boot. Now let's go back to this part that's right here on the tip of my foot. Now let's go right here to this one. Look at that. It looks like a tip of a boot right there. I wonder if this is the shape of a boot or a shoe. Look at that. It even looks like the shape of the tip of a boot. It looks like a face down there too. But that is a trip, because from this angle it kind of looks like a boot, except for this part right here, it's all differently. Then we got this guy right here, and he's got the hat looking like a cone like this, but when you change it to the other ones, when you take the camera to this side and take a picture of this side, it looks like that big snowman kind of like thing. But see, in this image, from this angle, you can't see that picture of Jesus, though. Let's see here. Where's it at? Which one was it? Yeah, this is the one with the guy with the clock on his face, kind of like thing. So the angle that I was just showing you is coming from this direction, off of this one. Such a trippers. But anyway, interesting stuff. So I just wanted to mention that I think that's representing Arcturian, that base down there. And I think that's representing the tip of the boot. Fascinating, right? Okay. Come on. And what else did I want to show you? Oh, where is it? Yeah. Do you see that image right there at the face? That's what I was looking at on my face right there, being that image. Let's go down here to Steve Fletcher. Yeah, because he's talking about the symbolism of, from the Matrix and Israel and the planetary alignment happening. And remember, I showed you the World Dead Clock had that showed the planetary alignments happening. Yeah, that was annoying. Right here. So this is like on the 11th right here, planetary alignment. And that's Leo, and that's Virgo, the mother and the child. Okay, I'll let you guys. Oh, let me go back here and show Supernatural by Design. Let's see here, 3 hours ago. He's talking about Purim, and it has to do with the book of Esther and the signs that are happening then, too. Now, when we look at this symbolism right there of the X going across America, what I did is this line going right here where the eclipse is going, I wrote down the states. Actually, it starts off in Sinaloa in Mexico, Sinaloa. Then it goes to Nagard, Durango, Chihuahua, or whatever. And then it hits Texas and it goes down, right? Well, all these places that it's going through are native Indian. It's so interesting. And then I thought, well, what does Texas mean? Texas means friends. Oklahoma means red people. So the Indians, right? And then Arkansas means bear or toothpick. Missouri means muddy water. Kentucky means meadowland. Illinois means best people. Tennessee means meeting place. Indiana, land of Indians. Ohio, river of the same or beautiful river. Michigan, large water. Ontario, big body of water. And then we have Pennsylvania, recognized as Pinwoods or head of woods, head of the woods. And then New York, Duke of York. Now, isn't that interesting stuff? And I got to thinking, I wonder if there's like a message when it comes to, because I didn't look at the from Salem, Oregon, from 2017, going down to, I think, South Carolina, the path of totality of the names of the states that are going through there, or the places. Because I was like thinking, I wonder if there's a message from naming all those places down to there. And I wonder if there's a message from here and what it would say. So that's what I was looking at, well, what is these towns or states, what's the symbolism of them? Because I've realized in this world, in this reality, it's about finding the clues. It's about looking at the details. It's about seeing the signs, right? To be able to see the signs, you got to know what a sign means. A sign could, like I was telling you about the 7 weeks of Daniel. So you got a sign, like a sine wave, which is like an S wave, right? Going linear, sideways. So you go, it's like when they say you ride the waves, you go up for 3.5 years, and then you go down for 3.5 years, and you go back up for 3.5 years. Now, when you look at the presidents of the United States, they're in term for about 3.5 years, actually 4 years, but the last part of their years, they're probably not giving a crap. Depends on if they win or not for the election. So when Trump went in, was going high, right? And at the end of his term, he was going down. And then Biden, he was, So Trump, he went high. And then you have, as it's going down, you have Biden that goes low and goes back up, right? And then the next president that's going to be taking over the next term is going to be going up high, right? So they're going to be floating. So, of course, everybody's voting for Trump now because Biden made such a fool of himself. You can tell because he was going down in the low. So now Trump's going to be, if he gets elected again, he's going to be looking high again, like good. It's the cycle that's going. So it goes for 7 years like that. So every 3.5 years, right, it goes through an ups and down. And I thought that was so interesting, right? So 3.5 years and 3.5 years is 7 years, 7 weeks of 7 times 70. So it's so interesting. And then if you look at Obama's career, he was going up, right? And then his other term, his back-to-back term, he went down. So again, if we look, it's like leave the world behind. The guy says you got to be able to read the curve. So if you read the curve, read the sign, right? Of course, we're talking about stock markets, but then it's also talking about other symbolism too. Look at the world, read the sine wave, right? And I think it's SINE wave, sine wave. So let's look that up. Sine wave. I think it's, see, the sine wave. You got a period where it goes, here you got the lunar, the platform, right? So in Trump's term was going up, right? And then Biden's term, it went down. You can see inflation went down. And so the next term is going to go up. It's so interesting if we can read the curve, right? A sine wave is an S-shaped waveform designed by a mathematical equation or function y equals sin x. It's so interesting because remember I was telling you the X chromosome is the female chromosome, and female have 2 X chromosomes, right? Well, the first wife of Adam was named Lilith, for Lily, and then the second wife was Eve, right? Eve is representing evening, so evening, that kind of thing. But Lilith is representing the lily. The lily is the serpent, or Lilith is the serpent on the tree. Lily is the DNA, that kind of thing. There's lots of symbolism for it. So Y equals sine X. Y is the vertical, right? And then sine X is this way. So if we look at this would be X, and going up would be the Y. So the Y equals this, and then here's X right here. So that is interesting. Let's see here. It can depict graphical as 2 semicircular curves that alternate above and below a center line. So anyway, just want to throw that out there. It's always good to learn something new, and it's always good to, see what is being played out. Like when I was showing you right here about, I put the link in the video about leave the old world behind. This is on the debt money clock as well, right there. Isn't that interesting? And there's a mighty angel right up here too as well, above the eagle. So it's saying we're leaving this struggle world behind, the ball and chain, right, of Britain and America, and we're sliding into the golden age, into the light. So the darkness will be behind us. It's so interesting. If we can just see what they're trying to show us, right? I put this, one of my cousins, because everybody was talking about Facebook, she was wondering why, and I was like, well, it's because of all the signs, and I mentioned leave the world behind, and I posted all this stuff, and, my cousin's got some really freaky friends. All they do is like to mock me or laugh at me. It's like they're so blinded that they can't see, or they don't believe any of this stuff, but it's actually happening. And that's where I was saying about the world today, is that they'd rather mock you and laugh at you instead of actually seeing what's playing out. So the ones that are so it's pretty much saying the ones that are awake are laughing at them for being so stupid. Seriously, if you're refusing to see and you'd rather mock than actually listen or pay attention, or mock those that are the watchmen of God, then, are you really of God?